there's parallel universes in this world, right? Like the Netflix show that people are flocking to, its number one show on Netflix right now, is called Tiger King. And if you type in Tiger King on Twitter or whatever, you search it, you'll find all kinds of commentary of it. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people hate like it. There's all kinds of different stuff. The fact that this portion of our population has existed, and none of us ever knew about it, only makes my point stronger. We live on the same planet, in the same country, but essentially in a different universe than these people. Like, they did what? Wait, they're polygamists? Like two different polygamists, like hetero and homosexual, that collect tigers? There's more tigers in captivity than there are in the wild? Like that? These takes $2,000 is all it takes to, like, my dog right now is more expensive, again, per this documentary. My dog is more expensive than a tiger cub. Like, these are things I had no idea about. Like, it's a parallel universe. And I think that Cam Newton is going to learn a lesson, or he doesn't know it yet, that what you see in media on TV, and especially in social media, is not the real world. In the real world, you have to go where somebody swears by you. We call it the rabbi in the room. In the social media world, it's all about measuring up one guy versus the other guy and who would you prefer. I get that Tony Romo's statement at the end of his NFL career, football is a meritocracy, seems to ring true. But what merits bring you to the top of the meritocracy? Case in point, yesterday, Cam Newton was released by the Carolina Panthers. Or was it 2 days ago? Honestly, any of you who are homeschooling your kids, I feel for you, because all of us are like, is it Friday yet? If I'm a teacher, I can't wait to get back in school and ask for a raise, because every parent would go like, yes, they deserve every penny they get and then some. But Cam Newton was released, and you see all these guys, a bunch of them, especially on ESPN, saying, Cam Newton's better than this guy. Cam Newton's better than that guy. Cam Newton should be with the Chargers, the Bears. How could the Bears and the Chargers pass up on Cam Newton, the MVP of the league 5 years ago? How could they do that? And today, on Instagram, Cam Newton was working out in his personal gym, flexing, looking big, saying things like this.
They gave up on me.
They quit on me. They gave up on me. Right? They being the Carolina Panthers. Right? But in the real world, it's a regime change. This is what happens. I've worked at 3 different places, and all of them are different, and all of them are the same. The guy who brought you in, the guy who believed in you, that's the guy you better make happy. That's the guy you tie your ship to. And if he gets fired, boy, you're a ship wandering at sea. Ship wandering at sea. But if he goes to another place, you follow him. You follow him. That's generally what happens. I mean, if you want inside the Beltway stuff at Fox Sports, like, look, when Colin Cowherd came to Fox Sports, he followed a guy who had started his TV show at ESPN. And then, of course, one of the lead producers is now one of our executives here at Fox Sports Radio. Guys you had worked with before, guys that you respect, guys you know the business, know you, embrace you and your style, you embrace them and their style. Right. Do you want a little bit more money to change that? Of course. Of course. But there has to be some inherent trust, because if you go and work for people you've never worked for before, I've done that. Then all of a sudden you sit down and you're just you, and they're like, yeah, I don't really love you. Yeah, but you hired me, didn't you know? Like, no. I mean, we just thought we met you in a meeting and everybody liked you and thought you're good. And right? You got to have knowledge of it. Ron Rivera took the Washington Redskins job. He got as close to autonomous power as you can get with the Redskins. He told us as such at the Super Bowl. He's told everybody that Dan Snyder, the owner of the Redskins, said, I'm going to step away. I'm going to trust you. Remember, this is the Dan Snyder whose kid went to high school with Dwayne Haskins, and that reportedly is why they drafted Dwayne Haskins last year. So you're going to bring Scott Turner, that's the son of Norv Turner. Norv Turner worked with the Panthers. Scott Turner worked with the Panthers. You're going to bring Scott over from Carolina, as well as several other members of your front office and your coaching staff to transplant to the Redskins. Why? Because you've worked together. They know you, you know them, and you believe that if you do it your way, it works. And for Ron Rivera, the proof is in the pudding. He went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago with the number one defense and the number one running game. And a quarterback that won the MVP. Sure, they didn't play against the one team, I think, above 500 record. Right? But his ability, or that team's ability to win with Cam Newton, who's a low percentage passer, and survive when Cam Newton was often injured in a smaller market like Carolina, and do so while, at times turnover with players, remarkable. And you're playing against the Falcons, who went to the Super Bowl, the Saints, who have been a dominant team the last couple of years, like all of this stuff. Ron Rivera brought guys over that he knew, that he respected, that he trusted in his coaching staff, in his front office. And he had the opportunity to bring one quarterback over. That quarterback was not Cam Newton. It was Kyle Allen. Take a listen to what Ron Rivera says about bringing over Kyle Allen.
Kyle fits what we do. He understands our system. Scotty Turner's our offensive coordinator. We're using the system that we had basically had in place for 9 seasons. And Kyle's a young quarterback. He's had some success. He is good in the locker room. He understands what I'm looking for. He understands what Scotty's looking for. So hopefully we can take that and use it to our advantage with our new team.
You got all of these guys on TV and radio saying, how did the Chargers, who, by the way, why the Chargers have Tyrod Taylor instead of Cam Newton? Tyrod Taylor was a starting quarterback with the Buffalo Bills. They went to the playoffs. Who was his play caller? Anthony Lynn. Who's his head coach now? Anthony Lynn. They work together. They trust each other. This is not that hard. I swear to God. Why did the Bears go out and get Nick Foles? Why did he go out and get Nick Foles? Well, because Nick Foles played for Matt Nagy. He played for John DeFilippo. He played for all of their offensive coaching staff. He played for before either in Philadelphia or Kansas City, and Nagy played for in both. They work together. He played for him. They understand how each other works, and they respect each other. Ron Rivera has the chance to bring over a quarterback, and you can say, well, Cam Newton was making $19 million, and Cam Newton right now is making $0. When you get cut, you don't make a pet. You got nothing. There's no contract details, nothing, $0. So the idea, and I don't know what Cam Newton, he probably wants a multi-year deal, whatever. But if you want to say that, well, Kyle Allen makes $580,000, Cam Newton was making $19. Right now, he could have waited it out. He knew nobody was trading for Cam Newton. He didn't. He traded a 5th-round pick for Kyle Allen. Why? He's good in the locker room, knows what he's doing, knows what we expect, had some success in the league. Same offense for 9 years. The same offense that Cam Newton ran. Cam Newton had success. He went to a Super Bowl. He was an MVP. Ron Rivera's telling you he can't play anymore. He doesn't want him. That's all you need to know. You don't need to accost the Chargers. You don't need to accost the Bears. Oh, the league. That's not the league. It's Ron Rivera, who everybody respects, right? When Ron Rivera took the job with the Redskins, like, man, I really like Ron Rivera. Why would he take the Redskins job? That's because you like and respect Ron Rivera, and you don't feel the same about their owner, right? So if a guy that everybody respects, everybody is a former player, a really good coach, a guy who does it the right way and builds a culture and toughness and brings over, and the guy he leaves behind, he's like, yo, we're still boys. Yeah, you gonna come? No, we're full. We're full here. Sorry. We'll take Kyle. We'll take your backup. We'll take a rookie. A guy who got beat out twice in college. Twice in college. That's all you need to know. Does it mean that Cam Newton stinks? No. Does it mean that he's not better? Like if you go throw with an empty stadium to just wide receivers, like, no, it doesn't mean that Cam Newton's a bad football player. It just means there's something there in terms of his leadership, his ability to stay healthy, right? Part of ability is availability. Right? Football players say it all the time. Dude's hurt all the time. Cam's about Cam. Cam's not about the team. And here's a lesson. No GM has ever opened up their Instagram and said, oh, Cam Newton's lifting weights? Oh, he's motivated to be great, prove people wrong. He's the only guy in the NFL that's lifting weights and motivated to prove people wrong. I didn't think we wanted Cam Newton. Frankly, I'm surprised that not only did the Redskins, but the Bills, that coaching staff came from Carolina, all of them passed on Cam Newton. I'm a little surprised there, but now that I see him working out on my Instagram, hey, somebody get Cam Newton's agent on the phone. Let's give him a multi-year deal. He wants to be great. Raiders needed a quarterback. Did they sign Cam Newton? No. Did they wait? Nope. Marcus Mariota. That's all you need to know. I'm guessing from the time that John Gruden sat down with Cam Newton and he said, tell me a play call you had at Auburn, he said 6. That was a play call they had at Auburn. 6. What's the formation? We just called it 6. Go back and look. There's tape of this. Right? Like, this is every interview is you're making an impression for your future employment. Instagram may love Cam Newton's hat, suits, glasses. Well, he looks clean, man. Scarves. I don't know what's going on with the scarf thing. It's just weird. But whatever. He can get away with it. Instagram may love it. TV pundits may love it. They may tell you that the Chargers don't know what they're doing, the Bears don't know what they're doing, but if the Redskins don't want him, why should anybody else? There are parallel worlds. We live on the same planet in a different universe. The people who are in this Tiger King, big cat thing, I swear to God, that is a different universe in the world I live in. And these people that say Cam Newton is still an elite quarterback when he's only really had one great year, one good year, and a bunch of inaccurate years. Like, look at his career. It's 9 years, and he's consistently inconsistent. And when you're consistently inconsistent, you're inconsistent. And when your longtime head coach brings over everybody and leaves you behind and you don't have a job, so don't give me the salary cap crap. Tells you all you need to know. Those Cam Newton fandom IG lovers that think, well, now you signed Cam Newton, that is a parallel universe to the one in the real NFL. In the real NFL, you got to go that somebody likes you, trusts you, knows you. And he had that chance to stay, to go to Buffalo, to go to the Redskins, and everybody passed. That's all you need to know. Hey, what up? Doug Gottlieb here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Fox Sports Radio. You can catch my show, all the shows on Fox Sports Radio, unique interviews, strong takes, just interesting discussion on the sports topic of the day, of the week, of the month. It's all encompassing. It's everything you need right here on YouTube. Subscribe.